Welcome to Brewers Anonymous Monthly. This is the online video recap of our monthly meeting for the Brewers Anonymous Homebrew Club in Orlando, Florida. I am Matt, the current vice president of the club and part of the governing board, along with Mike, Kenny, Trevor, and JJ. Our March 2025 meeting was held on Friday, March 21st. It was held at Ivanhoe Park Lager House. That was a change from the originally announced location. Home State had an event where they rented out the property, so we are certainly not going to stand in their way of making money, especially since they've been donating the space to us for a couple years now with no charge whatsoever. So Ivanhoe Park Lager House very graciously allowed us to have the meeting there last minute. So with that, it was a rather small meeting, but we still have some things to talk about. So to start off with, we have the club motto, strength through unity, unity through Zymergy. And we do want to thank our supporters again, Ivanhoe Park Lager House, Home State Brewing Company, the American Homebrewers Association, and Tactical Brewing Company. No club challenge for the month of March, but we do have one coming up in our next meeting, and that is the April challenge. It's honey-based, braggots and honey beer. It's any style of beer that can be brewed, but the honey must be a noticeable component of that beer without being the sole component of that beer. There must be a harmonious flavor and aroma, if you will, between the base beer and the honey. So that is coming up at our next meeting next month in April. And to see everything we have going on, scan this QR code to lead to the spreadsheet that lists everything that we're going to be doing this year that I was going to say that we know of, but it's a living spreadsheet, so we're constantly updating it. So as soon as we know something, we post it here, and there is the dates for everything as well as the countdown date. So if you're interested in any of the brewing activities and wonder if you have enough time, it's all there at a glance. So again, just scan this QR code. It'll take you right to the spreadsheet, and like I said, it's constantly being updated. We had our secretary update for the month of March, and a lot of that went around Discord once again. We did a watch party for the first award ceremony of the year, the Coconut Cup Awards, and went really well. It was a lot of fun. JJ set that up. We were able to talk to each other and hear the presentation without having our audio fed into their presentation and messing anything up they did. We're going to do it again. The next one coming up is in April for it's the Palm Beach Draftsman's competition, Hurricane Blow-Off. Almost forgot the name of the competition. And with that proof of concept, we can do this for just about anything. There's a whole world of possibilities for these live stream events and these live events where we can all get together on Discord. So if you have any ideas, please send them to us. We are willing to hear them. At this point, everybody that's going to be active in 2025 should have renewed their memberships. If for some reason yours is still outstanding, take a look at this QR code to pay for the 2025 membership. If you're stumbling upon this as a potential new member, this will also sign you up as a new member. And the rates do get prorated throughout the different quarters of the year, so it's not the entire full year after each quarter and whatnot. It's all explained on the webpage that this QR code leads you to. So if you're interested, check that out. Competition updates. Like I just said just a minute or so ago, we did have the first competition of the season for the Florida Homebrew competition circuit, and that was Coconut Cup, and we have quite a few medalists to congratulate, starting with Graciano Miranda with his gold for his American Lager and a silver for his Hazy IPA. Mike Thompson, silver for his Dark European Lager. Nathan Kramer, bronze for a pale bitter European beer and silver for wood beer. Curtis Redcliffe, bronze for British bitter and bronze for American Stout. Ian O'Keefe, gold for American IPA and bronze for Hazy IPA. Kenny McCord, gold for Strong Ales, gold for Spice Beer, and an honorable mention for Best of Show in beer. David Fetty, silver for Strong Ales. John Sather, bronze for Brett Beer. Bill Carley, silver for Experimental Mead. Matt Hunsworth, that's me, silver for Alternative Grain and silver for Fruit Mead. JJ Ocampo, gold for Experimental Mead. And Eric Rodriguez, walking away with the most points for our club and for himself for Brewer of the Year. Gold, Specialty IPA, bronze for Spice Beer, and gold, Best of Show Beer for that Specialty IPA. So congratulations to everyone on that. And this is the screenshot of the point tally for Coconut Cup. But when it comes to the circuit, it's a little different. Brewers Anonymous and Cask is currently tied at 39, and Pinellas Urban Brewers Guild actually has 38 in the circuit. And that's because, I'll try to explain as best I can. One of their medals, one of their gold medals, was in a specialty category 999, I believe, and 999 does not count towards circuit competition points. So even though they have 41 points for Coconut Cup, they actually have 38 points for the circuit. I did not grab a screenshot of the circuit. They're part of the website of Best Florida Beer has taken over managing the circuit. That has changed every time I've looked at it, so I'm kind of waiting until they give the green light that the site is 100% ready before I start taking information directly from that. But that reading through the rules that have been published, that's why there's going to be a discrepancy if you look up the rankings currently on the Best Florida Beer Homebrew site. All right, moving on. Hurricane Blow-Off. The entries have been delivered. I believe we have 25% of the entries. We have a lot of entries for this competition. It's a small competition, but we have a lot of entries, and our win rate has just been increasing with every competition. So this is looking really good for us. So we'll know about this, how this comes out in a month. So moving on, Hogtown Brew-Off. This is actually now completely full, and we did get a number of entries in. I don't know what number it was. This is a 400 entry cap, so much more. So our overall percentage is a little lower. But again, we're sending in quality and quantity to an extent. So we really have two things going for us. I don't know where the circuit is going to go this year. I don't think it's going to be a shoo-in for anybody, including us, but I certainly don't think it's something that we are out of already early into the year, no matter what happens in the next two competitions. That's all I really want to say about that. And then come May, we will find out a little better where we stand with three competitions behind us. After Hogtown is our competition, Hot and Humid. Entry starts on May 5th. Deliveries for entries are May 17th to May 30th. And if you're local, chances are you're part of the club and watching this, we're delivering to Ivanhoe Park Lager House, so you can just drop them off there. We'll probably have a night where we kind of meet to do the drop-off, even though we don't need to hand off our beers to someone to drive. It's just kind of a tradition. Our entry limit is 300, 3 beers, entries per entrant. Wow. Okay. So three entries per brewer is what I mean to say there. I think if you're into competitions, you know these details enough already. And then of course the 3 bottles per entry. Award ceremony is going to be June 28th, 2025. And before I get into that, I went one too far. So for Hot and Humid judging dates, bottle sort, that may change to June 1st. We're waiting on something that could be big and good news. So it's either going to be that weekend. It's going to be Saturday, May the 31st or Sunday, June the 1st. So stay tuned for details on that. For judging, we're doing 3 full weekends of judging, 2 sessions each day. In fact, it is, I think, all of June except for the last weekend of June when our award ceremony is. So the 7th, the 8th, the 14th, and 15th, the 21st and 22nd. We're going to start at noon and go until no one wants to judge anymore. Even though we have, I think, noon and 4 o'clock designations in Reggie, if you want to stay until Ivanhoe, we're doing it at Ivanhoe Park Lager House until they close, I'm happy to stay and do it with you, because the more we can judge in every session, the better off we'll be in the long run. More on that as we go further and closer to the competition date. One thing I did want to add that's not really in these slides is we've had a rough time with competitions the past couple of years, especially last year with having our venue close on us and then having us judge outside. We're kind of making this the Phoenix era of Hot and Humid, where we're going to make it the biggest it's been. We're going to hopefully make it the best it's been. And we have a lot of things planned that we're going to slowly release, starting with judging. Judging, we've been very lax on rewarding judges, apart from providing them lunch. That's going to change in a huge way this year. So if you're interested in judging or just to see what's going on, you want to steward or any kind of volunteering, any extra hands that we can get for anything on a judging day will help. If you want to see what that's all about, get ready to judge, because if you judge at Hot and Humid, we're making up for lost time this year. I think that's a good way to say it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave it on that because we got a few other things to talk about. We got a couple months to go, so I'll leave those announcements for later. After Hot and Humid, we have First Coast Cup. This is a huge competition, 450 entries. There's no doubt this was planned with them in mind of getting as many entries as I possibly can in with their club. And that's what usually happens. The host club has the most entries. So hand it to Cask for taking on a task of judging 450 entries. I will be there to help. But that's a lot. And I'm sure it's to help get them some more points. And that's part of the game. I cannot blame them at all for that. If I felt we had the resources to do 400, judge 400, I would do it myself. But I don't think we're there yet. We're getting there. With the BJCP training program we have in place, we're getting there. We're not there yet. Maybe next year. So that registration date is on June 9th. Delivery is the June 16th to July 3rd. This is just a couple of weeks after the delivery for Hot and Humid. So it should be relatively schedule-wise easy to prepare for both competitions when you plan to brew. At least that's what I'm going to do. I just kind of wanted to point that out, that there's not much time between the two drop-off or the delivery ranges, so your beer should still be within that fresh range by the time this gets judged if you're brewing it for Hot and Humid originally. Pull off another 3 bottles for First Coast Cup. Maybe there won't be the entries you need, but you'll have them in case the one you decided to actually enter doesn't work out. There's many reasons why you want extra entries if you're trying to help the club and yourself point-wise for the circuit competition. Here's a quick look at the delivery schedule coming up. Let's see, 2 that are not on there, obviously Hot and Humid because that's in Orlando, and Sunshine Challenge because that is also in Orlando. We don't need one person taking all the beers there. This is what we do have coming up after First Coast Cup is Commander Saz and then Best Florida Beer. Best Florida Beer is the holdout this year and telling us when their competition is going to be. No sign of it as of this recording. We have some festivals on the horizon. We've got Hamlin Craft Beer Fest, which is the closest thing we have to our own beer fest. We always are a very popular tent. We always have some great beers, and we never have lack of volunteers for this. And from what it looks like on their website, they're going to have a People's Choice competition again. We won the inaugural one. It'd be cool if we repeated that on the heels, I should say, of a repeat win of the state competition. So we'll see. You never can tell, but we're pretty excited about this. Same day, we pulled it off. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the last video or not, but we were going to try to also do Sanford Pints and Paws this day, same Saturday, and we do. We have enough volunteers to do both and enough beer to serve it both. I wasn't sure that was going to be something we could do, considering the amount of beers that continue to grow in the number count for Hamlin alone, but we have enough people, resources, tents, everything to do both, which is cool. The fact that we can do 2 in one day is pretty awesome. After that, a different day, that's Brews Around the Zoo. In fact, it's the following month. It's a few weeks after. And I plan to attend this. I don't plan to go as a server or pour beer. I plan to go to this because it always has looked fun and unique, and I want to check it out. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So as far as BJCP training and that dates go, this, I believe, was also already full in February. We are now starting a wait list. So if you want to be on the wait list, if a seat opens up for the judging exam, the tasting exam on July 19th, contact Dave Fetty through the BJCP exam calendar and let him know you'd like to be added to the list. And to almost wrap things up, we got a couple slides left after this. The update for the 2025 Austin P. Harris Brewer of the Year awards are on the screen right now. Eric Rodriguez has a commanding lead, 46 points. Kenny McCord right behind him. Well, he's behind him, not right behind him with 20 points, but Ian O'Keefe is right behind Kenny with 19 points. And this is the final new thing that we launched this month. We now have a merch shop. You've probably seen my t-shirts. You've seen Mike has ordered a couple of shirts to test things out. And we now have a merch shop of several different designs, including one that we call the Legacy design, which has the logo on the front. Well, the name Brewers Anonymous with just the logo between Brewers Anonymous on the front. On the back has the circle logo, and on the sleeve has the 3 years that we have won the cup. That's a pretty cool shirt. And Everything on here is black. That's just the display color. Several colors available, all kinds of sizes, all kinds of materials, all kinds of cut. Check it out. It's at this QR code right here. It leads you right to the site, or go to brewersanonymous.org and click the new merch button that we have on the menu. And I'll also lead you to this new store. That is it for this month. Like I said, short month. It was a rather short meeting, but it was great to see everyone that was there. So thank you for everyone that attended. And our next meeting will also be at Ivanhoe Park Lager House. So we're not going to reset the schedule because of the one-time incident of not being able to go to home state. It's still at Ivanhoe Park Lager House. It's Friday, April 18th. Hope to see you all there. Remember, that is the April Interclub Challenge, the Braggot and Honey beers. If you want to enter that, please do. The more, the better. Makes it a lot more fun. And that does it for this month. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at the next meeting.